Hello viewers. Okay, today's been a 38 kind of day. I've been processing brass, done some ladder loads and all that cool stuff. But it got me thinking, I was going through my brass and especially on the 38 special. So I've shot these a lot. I mean, a great deal. I've had hot loads on them. I've had just, basic practice, kind of a lighter on the lighter side. And got me thinking about a problem that may be coming up for reloaders. And that's from companies that remanufacture ammunition. They're kind of popped up everywhere. The gun craze is kind of picked up. It's, a little bit more, I guess it's cooler now to shoot. And it's even cooler now to reload. There's much more, reloaders today than probably there's ever been. So I think that's going to pose a problem going to ranges. A lot of people don't have that problem. They don't have to go to a range, but some of us do, me being one. I don't have a place I can just go and shoot. So I have to go to an indoor and outdoor range. So one of the big things about remanufacturing companies is they're purchasing brass from these ranges. That's why we're seeing very little, signs of, no picking up brass. You drop it, it goes into a hole or it goes into a grate. And then the range takes that brass and they sell it to the remanufacturers that are actually, reloading ammunition and selling it back to the general public. So what that made me think is like, what am I going to do with this brass when it's had its useful life? Well, I'm probably going to throw it in my junk bin. But if I'm at the range and say I know that I'm on that last round, the last time I loaded them, the primer pockets were just so weak, that primer just slipped in there too easy, and I may, disassemble that bullet, or if it's a lighter load, I may go ahead and shoot it. But I'm probably going to dump it out on the range. So that's probably what's happening at a lot of indoor and outdoor ranges. Loaders are, they're getting past that useful life for that brass. They're dumping it, and then the owners of that range are coming in, they're grabbing that brass, and they're putting it in the pile, and then from there it goes to the remanufacturers, and they're trading them out ammo or buying it, or, whatever their deal is with them. So that got me thinking, the liability that's going to place on the remanufacturer. They're processing that brass, they're sorting it. I don't know what their, quality control is, but I'm sure their quality control is not as good as ours, because we're doing a very limited amount of ammo. We're talking thousands a year. They're doing hundreds of thousands a year. So they just don't have the manpower or the time to actually do that. So when that case hits that useful life and they're loading it up and they're selling it to the general public, and then it explodes, or whatever could happen, they could have a lawsuit on their hands. So if that happens, that's going to put that manufacturer out of business. Others are going to hear about that, and then this is probably going on already. It's just not in my area. Not only are we not going to be able to pick up brass, they're going to say you can't bring your own ammunition. So basically, no reloaders are welcome at this range. And that's going to be bad, because they're not going to let us pick up our ammo or our cases. They may have something for revolvers that's easy to do, or maybe rifle. But if you're shooting an AR or something like that, they're going everywhere. They're not going to let you pick it up. They don't have time to do that. They have to cycle through that next shooter. But so I think it's going to boil down to, we're going to have a problem. There's going to be a lot of loaders out there that are loading our ammunition because we want the best we can get. It's a hobby. We want the speed, or whatever the 4 levels are that we talked about in that series of getting started. They're going to shut us out. They're going to say, hey, when you come in here and you shoot, you're going to have to buy our ammo, or we're going to have to see your ammo in the boxes. So that's going to be a problem for us, because we've ran this brass out to its useful life, and we've dumped it out on the ground. So what can we do to prevent it? I'm not really sure. If they won't let us pick it up, we really can't. You know, that's why I really like shooting from a wheel gun, because I can, I've got control of that brass right then. I could dump it right back in my bag and sort through it when I get home. So they really, I can control the rim stuff, out of a revolver. But the automatic stuff, it's going everywhere. It's getting mixed in with that once fired brass, and all these manufacturers. This is something to think about. All these manufacturers, they're claiming once fired brass. Even when we buy brass, they always say once fired brass. Well, there's only a couple of ways I know that's possible. Well, maybe 3. There may be more, but right off the top of my head, they're buying military surplus. Towards the end of the season or whatever, they'll go through and they'll blow through all their ammo, and then they'll reorder and restock. So they're cycling through the ammo, and then they sell that by 55-gallon drum containers or crates. So that's one. Police range, that's another one. They're going to buy new ammunition, unless they're buying it from a remanufacturer, and they're going to pump through it, and then they can sell that brass, to either, somebody that sells brass or the remanufacturer. So that's going to be once fired. And then I guess the third option, which wouldn't be quite as much, control over, would be these indoor ranges that say, hey, you've got to purchase our ammunition, but somebody's going to sneak some ammo in there. I know I would. It's like going to the movie theater. I'm going to stick a couple of candy bars in there that I paid $1 for versus $5. So we've probably got a pretty good problem coming that we need to look out for. And how we solve that, I really don't know. It's just something that went through my mind when I was priming this brass, inspecting those cases and looking at them saying, wow, this is the 9th firing I've had on this case. And I was really feeling that primer, seat in. And I'm like, hey, this is good brass. It's still holding up. But that day's going to come where that primer just goes in there, and I'm like, it's not going to be a magnum load here. I'm not going to be able to push the limits on this, or I'm going to blow it out. And, that primer's going to come out, and all that pressure's going to come out of the back end and ruin my gun. But just something to think about. I don't know if I would go around to the ranges and talk about this, but, it may drive the price of ammo up for those that don't reload coming from the range if these remanufacturers stop purchasing from certain ranges. So we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. But I know if I was remanufacturing brass, or not remanufacturing the brass, but I was remanufacturing ammunition, that being that, I was reusing that case, which is probably the most expensive part of the product. I probably would not be buying brass from a public range. I would be buying it from a police range. I'd be buying it from, mill surplus, one of those areas. Or I wouldn't even remanufacture. I'd just buy new cases and make, brand new. But anyway, I guess this is kind of a coffee chat, which I hadn't took a swig yet. I've seen a bunch of those on YouTube. I drink everything out of one cup. I don't have a coffee mug. I do, but I don't use it. But anyway, just something to think about. And it's got me thinking when I was going through all this brass, and I got a couple more piles to go through, and we'll try to get about 400 or 500 loaded up. But I think that time's coming, and it may already be there in certain areas. So we've seen the signs, Tula ammo or steel case ammo not allowed, and I get that because of spark, and I don't buy that stuff anyway. But eventually, we see that sign now for indoor ranges. We're eventually going to see that sign, no reloaded ammunition is coming. So if you want to continue reloading your ammunition, you may want to save some boxes, some factory round boxes. And that's going to be a lot of trouble. We're going to have to sort through head stamp. We're going to have to, make sure we keep all that in line. And I like to, you know, for bulk practice ammo, I like to use plastic bags, and then for, you know, some heavy duty stuff, I use the ammo boxes. But next time you're at the range, you're in an indoor range or outdoor range, or there's a trash can, and there's a few of these boxes sitting in the trash bin, you may want to start grabbing them, even though they don't have brass in them, and keep the plastic insert in the box and keep it in good condition. So when you do load up some ammo, you can throw it in that box, and when you go to the range saying, yeah, you know, I bought this from Wally World or wherever. But anyway, throw some comments on there. I know I've probably left something out. And let me know if anybody's already seen this. I've not seen it in my area. I'm down, you know, in the south. But if you've seen it, let us know. And, you know, tell us the results that happen. Catch you guys later.